Time. 6:30. Time for another episode of First Cup. Got my coffee, got my sign, got my tablet. Everything is ready. It's a little chilly. Oh, hi. You ready? I'm ready. Let's do this. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Monday, September 9th, 2019. 9919. My name is Jeremy. This is my first cup of coffee. Well, I'm back after a couple days of traveling. Was in Maine this weekend with the majority of Team Whistlekick. There was a competition in Freeport, Maine, the Pine Tree State Championships, State Martial Arts Championships. I may be messing up a little bit of that name, but bottom line, it was hosted by Sabanim Jake Daniele, who was episode 3 of Martial Arts Radio. So a friend, big supporter, and I try to support him whenever possible. I really like that guy. And of course, others in his school, including his mother, as an instructor. And yeah, so we were out there and stayed over at Old Orchard Beach at one of the hotels there, right on the beach, and had a great time. I can't tell you how lucky and happy I am that Team Whistlekick is made up of great people, and their families are wonderful people, and it's just awesome when we all get together. Good morning, Jordan. But I'm happy to be back, happy to be in my own bed. Good morning, Frank. And have, my cup of coffee. Good coffee. Coffee there was terrible. We had to go out for decent coffee. So, yeah, here we are. It's Monday. I've got another busy week lined up, but shouldn't be as busy as the last couple weeks. Last week was a short week. The week before was getting ready for vacation. There's just a lot of chaos. And that's not the amount of work that I like doing. So, yeah. Alrighty. So what's going on today? Today, got a couple virtual meetings, not in-person meetings, but virtual meetings, hoping to get to the gym this evening. And just doing some email and some stuff in between. There isn't a ton that needs to be done. It's going to be a busy day, but not a chaotic day. So I'm happy for that. All right. Well, we got some questions here that I'm going to answer. If you want to ask me a question, drop it below, and I'll answer it on the next episode. This is my favorite part of this show. And so without questions, I don't get to do that. Well, I hope you had a good vacation, Jordan. All right. What are the pros and cons of running a martial arts school? Well, the pros are pretty straightforward. You get to teach martial arts, something that in theory you really enjoy. Maybe you even get to make some money doing it. You get to pass on your knowledge, and for anyone who's spent significant time teaching, you know that it impacts your knowledge. You learn a lot by teaching, which is awesome. You get to meet other people. It's nice. Cons. It's a tremendous responsibility. If you want to not show up to class, you can't. You have to be there. Or you have to line up somebody else to teach ahead of time. You may not make money. There's a financial challenge, the way most martial arts schools are set up, in that there are expenses. So you have to make sure you have enough students, which isn't what a lot of people want to do. People just want to teach and train. Anytime you have a martial arts school, there are people coming together, and whenever you have people, there are social challenges, drama, politics, whatever you want to call it. And this can all be frustrating. It can be overwhelming, and it's not worth it for everyone. as I've said on this show a bunch, you got to figure out your why. Why do you want to have a martial arts school? Is your why great enough to get you through those days, weeks, months when you don't want to teach, when there are things going on with your family, when there are things going on with your friends? To put a really dramatic example on it, because I've seen this, you've got a martial arts school going, and someone in your family gets really ill. Do you shut down the school so you can spend time with them? Or do you put it aside and not spend that time with them? It's a terrible choice. Yum. I think those are the big ones. Yeah. What do you think are the top 3 reasons martial arts schools close? Money, as in the school lost money or didn't make enough money that the instructor felt justified in their time. Burnout, which often is related to money, but teaching martial arts, running a martial arts school takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of yourself. And whether or not it's true, if you don't feel like that's coming back from your students, if you don't have enough students, if it feels like your efforts are taken for granted, I've seen people shut down school. And then the last one would be time. This is the one that I fall into. There are only so many hours in the day. And sometimes there are things that are more important, priorities that are higher. In my case, it was that I had the time for the actual teaching, but there were so many other things going on that I was a shell by the time I got to class at the end of the day. I was getting up at 5 in the morning and working, pretty much from 6 or 7 until, 4:30, and I was fried. And I did that for a year, and I was just so wiped, I couldn't handle it. So, yeah. Cat's being very needy. Final question. If anybody's a Patriots fan out there, wow. I didn't watch the game, but I saw the score this morning. If you opened a martial arts school again, what would you do differently compared to the first time? That is a good question. There's a lot that I would do differently. First off, I would make sure I had time and energy for it. Opening a martial arts school was something that I always wanted to do, and I didn't realize I didn't have the time in my life. It wasn't the right time. This would not be the right time. I have way too much going on. My evenings are so often taken up by work or the occasional personal interaction, hanging out with a friend or going out with friends or something. It doesn't get to happen very often. So if I started, stop, you're being fussy. Yeah. So if I had to put those things aside 1 or 2 nights a week, I would feel even more overwhelmed than I am. So I need to make sure I had space for that. Secondly, I would make sure that I had a nicer facility than I had. The space I had before was good. It wasn't so much the space, it was the relationship with the space owner. So I had an interesting relationship in that we ran the classes it was at a fitness center. We ran the classes through the fitness center, and I was paid. I think we split the money, but all the taxes and everything came out of my half, which was fine. But the fitness center was financially struggling, which I did not know when I entered into this relationship. So cash flow wise, the beginning of the month, all these checks would come into them, and sometimes it would take a few weeks for them to have enough money to pay me because they were using that money to pay other bills. So that wasn't good. I would rent my own space. And I think if I did that, I would have to have a don't claw the couch. I think I'd have to have I don't want to say a gimmick, but a concept that would be a little different. There are a number of martial arts schools around here, and some of them are very good. Some of them are run by my friends, and I don't want to step on their toes. So I would do something differently. I don't know what that would be. Maybe I would I would specialize in something. Maybe we would specialize in, like fitness-oriented martial arts. I don't mean like cardio kickboxing, but, a higher intensity class. I've got this idea that's been rolling around in my head that I will probably never get to test out, but something that's kind of the combination of martial arts and CrossFit and yoga and MoveNat and gymnastics. Something that's taking martial arts and bringing in broader physical concepts. All right, you can sit on my lap. There's a cat. See, there's a tail. And I would probably charge a lot more. In our area, people do not charge a lot for martial arts. $25, even $50. I would probably be charging a premium, which would mean a lot of people wouldn't come around. It would be more of I don't really like this word in this context. I was about to say a boutique martial arts school. When Jordan says he's in the wrong state. You get what you pay for. Just remember that. But that's probably the concept. That's probably what I would do. Something more like that. So. Right? Red cat? Man, it looks cold out there. Yeah, Jordan's saying it's 4 to 5 times that price here. Yeah, a lot of schools are charging 100, 150, 200 plus dollars in larger areas. But remember, this is rural Vermont, and people don't make as much money. So proportionally, we're not that far off. You've got a lot of people making very little money. So everything shifts accordingly. My coffee doesn't taste very good this morning. I'm not sure why. So those are my ideas for opening another martial arts school. Won't happen, at least not anytime soon. It's not even on the roadmap. So what's going on? Rest of the day, I'm gonna finish up with this. I gotta bring the trash out. Got a vet appointment for this fuzzball. A couple meetings. And it's digging through email and figuring out a few things for the rest of the week. So that's where we're at. I'll give you homework in a moment. Now, don't forget, we do this show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. But you can catch it later at firstcupwithjeremy.com or in your podcast app as an audio show. I love questions. Ask me questions. Drop your questions below or email me, jeremy@whistlekick.com. And I'll answer them on the next episode. Your homework today. If you were going to have a martial arts school, what would be unique about yours? What would be special about it? Would you offer classes during the day? Would you have classes of a fixed size? Would you put an emphasis on certain aspects of martial arts and not others? Would you not even do certain things? Would you not have titles or rank? Would you have people wear street clothes? What would your martial arts school be? Think about that. And then I want you to think about why. Why would you have those things that might be different than the norm? Maybe different from what you experience now. If you do own a martial arts school, why don't you do those things? All good stuff to think about. I hope you have a fantastic day. I will see you back here tomorrow. Take care. Peace.